Shane, you have played against Shaheen and Haris. You think these bowlers can be nightmare for English batters, especially Butlers and Heath?
Oh, absolutely. Those guys are incredible bowlers, especially in Shah Afridi. That first over, very rarely is he not on the money first ball. The start of the tournament he wasn't because he's coming back from injury, and that's totally understandable. But that last game he's really found his groove. So the English batters, they're going to have to be ready to go first ball because Shah Afridi's bowling 150, swinging in at pace, which he did for me in one PSL game as well. I only faced one ball, I was walking back. So he knows how to do it incredibly well.
Shane, who is favourite for your today's match?
I think I hope Pakistan win. I really don't want the English to win. I don't want the English to win, but I think the English have got a lot of firepower, especially from their batting. So it's going to be a huge challenge for Pakistan to be able to try and blow through their their top order in particular, because they do have a lot of match winners with the bat, more compared to Pakistan. I'm definitely going with Pakistan.
Shane, how would you describe journey of Pakistan in this tournament? They were beaten in first two games. They were on verge of being eliminated. Then suddenly they made a comeback and they are now playing final. How would you describe this whole journey?
Well, yeah, they were fortunate things fell their way, but that's not just as individuals. That's collectively in tournaments. That's the things that you need falling your way at times to be able to get into those knockout games and then put on a performance like they did against New Zealand. So in the end, when the winner's announced, no one cares what their team's journey is really up until the final. All that matters is how they play in the final. So it's certainly been. It was a little bit interesting that Pakistan weren't really able to get up and get going, but things fell their way. That South African game with Netherlands beat South Africa, which no one still really can get their head around that happened, but in the end it meant that Pakistan has had an opportunity to be able to play the game they did against New Zealand, because that was a very, very dominant display. So if they bring that game again tonight, then they're going to be very hard to beat.
Shane, would it be right to say it's world-class bowling versus world-class batting?
Oh yeah, it's as simple as that. And that's where the game's going to be won or lost. If the Pakistan quick bowlers in particular can really do some damage in that English top order, then that's their way of being able to win the game. But if they don't, then it's going to be a struggle.
Shane, just your take on, I suppose, the massive South Asian crowds we've had at this tournament, the atmosphere, like look around you right now, like what's it been like for you, and how do you see that in terms of, I suppose, where cricket is going forward?
Well, I just know how passionate the India and Pakistan fans are, and obviously the Bangladeshis and Afghanis and Sri Lankans as well, but you see the sheer numbers of the Indians and Pakistanis that are here in Australia coming along to the games. I know that's a passion that's there. I've been fortunate enough to go to Pakistan and play in the PSL, to go in India and play in the IPL, so I know how much passion and how many numbers there are as well who absolutely love the game, and we're seeing that in this T20 World Cup. So with even the Australian games, they were pretty poor attendances compared to the Pakistan Indian games. They're like home games for them. So that's the way the world's moving. It's exciting.
And just one, obviously, with your ACA hat on, past players,
Can you please look it straight?
How do you see that?
Look straight. I think with my experience, there's no real issue. Yeah, there's a little bit of hangover from what happened with Justin Langer, whether that's the players, whether that's also just the way that situation was handled from the past players, even with their frustration around Cricket Australia and how they handle that as well. So
Shane,
there won't be. It's not an issue. And if there is a little issue between a couple of players and a couple of past players, I know it'll be sorted out, because in the end, the past players, they just want the Aussie team, the Aussie boys to be as good as they possibly can be. Baba?
The same question.
Yeah, well, same
Many
question.
critics think Babar and Rizwan shouldn't do the opening.
Why? Why? Because when they're on, they're so hard to be able to actually contain. That's so technically correct. It looks like they're not really taking risks when they're going and scoring so freely. And they're a very good foil together as well, because Babar's more just hitting loose balls, whereas Rizwan takes the game on a little bit more, hits into different spaces. So you wouldn't break that up, because when they're going, as they showed in the semi-final against New Zealand, they just take the game away from the opposition against the world-class bowlers.
So what's your prediction for the player of the match?
One sec.
Just on the weather, how desperate will the players be to get the result today?
Everyone's desperate to get a result today. No one wants to come back for the rest day. So so far, well, I expected to arrive here today and it'd be raining, just with the forecast the way it is. So hopefully the rain stays away enough to be able to get a full game in, more than sort of a reduced game. But no, everyone's got their fingers crossed, that's for sure.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shane.
What's the prediction for the player of the match today?
Chris Mark, your friends in these ones.
Not sure.
Not sure.
Alright, where are we going?
Just go straight to.
Welcome back to the MCG, the People's Brand.
Okay, guys, pull back, guys, Johnny. Pull back.
MCG members only.